All right, Darryll, you ready, man? Let's go. What's going on? Darryll DePietro, everybody.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Happy to be on the show. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Hey.
Nice scarf.
What's up, Darryll? Before we get into it, let me ask, you got your Rise of Skywalker tickets for Thursday night or what?
Yeah, I don't have time for any of that stuff, man.
Come on.
We're doing pitch envy, pitching the envy startups tomorrow. We're back and forth between Silicon Valley. I don't have time for TV or movies or video games or any of that fun stuff, man. We are all business right now, firing on all cylinders.
That's great.
Darryll's in a unique situation where he is on the go at the moment. So, and Darryll, you're actually at a Bitcoin cryptocurrency event as we speak, are we not?
Yep. So we're at a holiday party for one of the bigger companies out here, Global Block Builders. They did a conference over the summer. I believe a lot of the guys from CCT were there. And so this is their holiday party. And there's a dozen and a half, 2 dozen people here. It's just starting to ramp up. And I actually didn't know it was going to be today when I said, I'll be on your TV show. And you're like, oh, yeah, 6 o'clock. And I'm like, okay, I can handle that. Because
Where are you at right now, Darryll?
I'm in Henderson, Nevada.
Oh, that's what's up. Jim's over there in Nevada as well, hanging out.
Yeah. Nice, man.
I don't know exactly where Henderson is, but I can tell you this much. I'm in Mississippi, and it's 31 degrees, and I'm freezing. I don't know what the temperature is over in Nevada.
It was 32 when I woke up this morning, so we're not too far off from you, man.
Look, we're around the same, latitude line, right? Like, we're going across the country. I mean, I'm not used to this cold weather, especially not at this time. I mean, maybe January, February, it gets down to like under freezing at times. But I was in the woods today, right? I was like hanging out in the woods on purpose. And I saw a snow flurry, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's freaking cold." I mean, I'm not used to this crap. Anyways,
do you guys know IJ? This is IJ right here.
What up, son? What you doing, man?
Happy holidays, fellas.
I don't think he can't hear you. I got that.
Yeah, fair enough.
He says, "What up, son? How you doing, man?"
Keeping it real.
He says, "Keeping it real." So.
I can tell. It sounds like you're all keeping it real. Well, okay, so Darryll, tell us a little bit what's going on in your life, man.
Yeah, man. So Concierge Club just got through an accelerator program in Silicon Valley. We did 8 weeks. It was intense. We produced about 80 documents while we were out there. And then we went up and pitched a panel of VCs last week. Got some great feedback, some good content. But the pinnacle of the entire experience was we were on This Week in Startups with Jason Calacanis last Friday. He did 3 episodes that he shot from Wilson Sonsini law office, from the Salesforce office in downtown San Francisco. And anybody could show up. They picked like the first 6 people that went. We were the first ones there. So we went up there. We were able to pitch him. Flawless pitch, great feedback. And our goal is to hopefully get into his accelerator because we want to level up our connections. But as far as, funding and things like that, we only do traditional VC funding. So we're not trying to do like an ICO or IEO or a STO or, any of that stuff. We're going the other route.
Oh, you're a mature company trying to raise money in a traditional format. Wow,
traditional format in the United States.
Weird. Goodness gracious! Like, I mean, I haven't heard. This is what am I doing? What do I do with my hands? I'm confused. No, congratulations, Darryll. I know you guys are kicking ass. All right, so let me ask you this, Darryll. Obviously you guys have a lot going on, and I appreciate you taking some time out. Your holiday party, having some fun, a few drinks. But what about some advice to maybe a strong-willed or somebody who's really excited about maybe doing something in this space? And I think that really embodies about kind of where you were early on in this. And you just made it work. What's some advice real quick on what you would say? Hey, this is how you should do it, or this is why you should try, or like what about failure? I mean, how many times have you failed? Like, give us a quick rundown.
Yeah, man. So you hit them all on the head. So what I would say to a young entrepreneur in the space is don't stop. Don't give up. Take every single risk, but don't cut corners. It's exceptionally important in this space to have ethics. It's exceptionally important in this space to make sure that if there is a regulation or a law or a governing body that has control over whatever you're trying to do, you should probably follow them. Now, there's some cool states that have some cool ways to bend laws. Nevada's one of them, that allow you to circumvent, certain types of laws and regulations out here. But if it's not okay by law, don't do it. If it cuts corners, don't do it. But take that risk to go out there and be everything. Be at every event. Be at all the meetups. Go to the parties. Go to the conferences. Even if you can't afford the tickets of the conferences, go to the lobbies of the conferences.
That's right.
It's that sort of stuff.
You could probably sneak in, not to cut corners on that part.
You can, and that's the thing. Like, let's say I saw you at a conference. I don't have a badge. You're like, hey, man, I'm going to go get lunch. Here's my badge. Next thing you know, I'm walking around with Joe Blackburn badge. Same thing. If I was at a conference with a badge and I saw you.
Pulled that myself. I've done that exact same thing.
Yep.
In fact, I don't want to be your friend unless you haven't done that.
That's how we got into consensus last year. It was great.
That's right, man.
But, I mean, that's kind of the other part of, like, don't let what you think is the preconceived notion of how this industry operates, where you have to have $2,000 per ticket, you have to have $25K for a booth. That's not how businesses are built. Use your network, build a network, use your connections, and get to the end goal. Because if you, let's say you have $10,000 to start a business and you're going to spend $2,500 on a badge, that's a horrible business expense. Get yourself a GoDaddy account, get yourself a MailChimp account, or well, not MailChimp because they just kicked us out, but get yourself those type of proper business funneling systems, and the rest will come. The network will come, the connections will come, and even if you go to Consensus and you don't have a ticket for Consensus, but you know where all the parties are, and we did that with we had a ticket for SF Blockchain Week, but we ended up getting invited to like 40 parties that were out there. You get a spreadsheet. Next thing you know, you can walk into all of them. So that's really my advice. Is it's easy if you take it one step at a time, but it's also exceptionally difficult because you have to put everything into it. And the second you don't, they'll call you out.
Yeah, well said. And I don't want to pretend like I know everything. And Jim, I'll let you talk here shortly. But I've always said this, and I know Ben Barlow, co-founder of CCT, he agrees with me. And obviously, my position is very different than everybody else, especially if you got a business. I don't necessarily have a business inside this. I have a networking opportunity on a digital level, I guess, right? But when I go places, the whole point of every conference is essentially networking in some capacity, right? I mean, if you're a sponsor, it's because you want to network and get your name out there and let people come talk to you and, get some exposure. If you want to go there and you want to throw a party, it's because you want people to come and network at your event. It's all about networking, and you don't necessarily have to be anywhere except at the places people are, even if that doesn't include the conference that have makes sense, And Jim, I haven't let you really talk yet, but I mean, great points, Darryll.
Thank you.
Oh, no, I mean, that's fine. So, but what about tips as far as you meant, like both you guys are talking a lot about networking. I mean, that's going to come down to schmoozing then, right? Because I mean, I know my main man, Joe Blackburn, he's like an extraordinaire when it comes to schmoozing with people. So
for the record, when he says schmooze, he always says it like this. Like, I mean, he's from Baston, right? He's a Northeasterner. And
so am I. I grew up in Connecticut, so I mean,
I feel you, right?
Same language here.
I'm not some like sleazy schmoozer. I know you don't, but that's the way that I'm always make it sound. So I'm gonna make sure that everybody else knows. It means like I'm good at being genuine and having conversations with folks, right, Jim?
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess it's just business in general because it is about like selling yourself. It's like the old business deals done on the golf course back in the day, and I mean even to this day.
It's actually a really good analogy.
That's not always a natural talent for someone. So what's kind of the tips on that? It's just confidence, ego. Like, what's the fine line there?
Yeah, it's a lot of confidence stuff. We got Larry. Larry jumped in real quick. A lot of confidence stuff. But if you think about this, you might not have the skills to go out there and start a conversation with somebody random. But if you truly built an amazing product, then you're going to be able to talk about that. And they say that a lot with founders that go up and pitch that get caught in the deer in the headlights kind of scenario. It's like, you just didn't know your stuff. If you know your stuff, you can go up there and talk about it anytime. And I mean, there was a point in time where I didn't know everything that I know now. And I had to learn and learn and learn. And it comes from conversations with guys like you and continuing to, hone those skills. But if you know what you're doing, then you should be able to articulate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Or hire somebody that can. I mean, if you're a technical co-founder, hire yourself that, CEO, that sales, that you need that Steve Jobs. If you're Wozniak, you need to find Steve Jobs.
That's right. I was to say, because sometimes people are almost too knowledgeable to a detriment if they get bogged down in some of the technicalities, and you need that like almost salesman type pizzazz sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Salesman's tough though, because salesmen will cut corners, and it gets back to that whole ethical stuff. I mean, but you're right.
That a good leadership.
Can talk in front of people.
Well, Darryll, I think that's been tremendous advice, and I really appreciate your insight, Darryll. I think that you have a ground level grassroots approach, and at the same time, you can see it high level, and you know what's next. And I wish you nothing but success, as you already know that. And I appreciate your influence, even though you weren't in Vegas, even though you're from that area, or you're not from there, but you live
I'm in
around
Vegas
there
right now. I'm in Henderson.
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't see you in Vegas because you were off doing some other some badass shit.
So
you know?
that's the best part about, World CryptoCon and Vegas Blockchain Week were happening as SF Blockchain Week.
I know.
So we were in an accelerator for 2 days. We had to go to classes.
Exactly.
And then I'm like, well, wait a minute. I can meet the Waves team. So Chris handled everything out there brilliantly. I mean, and that's the other side. That's what comes with forming a team is if you're just one person and your business can't operate without you, you can't scale. And that's important where, Coincierge shouldn't be, that's our, obviously the people that don't know, that's our brand, shouldn't just be me. It should be anybody that's part of our team should be able to articulate the details about our product and our platform and what we're doing the same way we can, or same way I can. And so that's important with scaling a business. So.
Well, Darryll, again, thanks for coming on, man. We got Jeremy on next, so we'll go ahead and we'll break parts here. But go ahead and tell us where can people find you and just plug yourself real quick.
Yeah, so Coincierge, where we at? Coincierge.club, Darryll at Coincierge.club. I'm at Darryll D on Twitter. And we're just trying to be that Silicon Valley VC-backed crypto platform that follows all the laws in the United States and, does the right stuff. I don't know how else to say it without being Coinbase.
Well said. All right, man. Well, look, we appreciate you, Darryll. We'll see you soon, brother. Good luck.
Man. Appreciate you.
Thanks for coming on, man. It means a lot.